everyone and welcome to the November vlog. I have just been planning mainly my day in the first couple of days of this week of what needs to be done. I have a lot of things that I would like to achieve this week. Some of the things I have been putting off for a little while. Not so much I've been putting it off, but I've been prioritizing what needs to be done, and some of these things have just kept getting pushed further and further down, and today's the day that I've just taken it from the bottom of the list and popped it up towards the top of the list to get them achieved. One of those things is I actually need to get onto Vistaprint and send off for a couple of things that I have been working on. So that will be one of the things I'm going to do today. I also need to take some more photos today. I'm getting ready to do a sale over the Black Friday weekend. In previous years, I've done it pretty much the traditional sort of way. Black Friday was set up originally for bricks and mortar shops, so I've always done a Black Friday sale in the store, and then on Monday I usually do the Cyber Monday sales for everyone that can shop online. Now with the new shop location, I don't think I'm going to get the same level of traffic coming through the store on the Black Friday, which means one of the reasons, apart from just being a traditionalist and trying to keep to what things were originally intended, the reason I used to do it that way was that I didn't double sell or oversell on products, because at the end of the day it's always going to be the online customer that will miss out if I double sell something, because I can't chase someone down the street going, oh sorry, that thing that you just bought someone ordered online just before you purchased it. You just can't do it. So unfortunately it is always the online person that is going to miss out if you double sell or oversell on something that you can't remake. So I've always kept the two sales separate so as not to disappoint anyone, because quite often what's on sale is very limited stock. But because I don't think I'm going to get that level of traffic coming through on the Friday in the shop, I decided to actually do a sale for the whole weekend, so the Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, and have that stock, and I'll just really watch what's going on to make sure it doesn't oversell. But I've got a couple of products that I need to take new photos of. They're products that aren't currently online, so I need to take photos of them, get them edited and start preparing this sale page. The sale page, as I said, it won't go out until the Friday the 29th of November, but my Pamper Club members will actually get access to it early from the 25th of November. So what I also need to do today, once I've taken the photos, got them edited and loaded, is I need to send out a newsletter to my Pamper Club members. There's also a few new products that I'm launching this week. Well, they get launched to my Pamper Club members this week and they'll go out to everyone else the following week. They include a new range of foaming sugar scrubs. There's some new hand cream scents, and there's a couple of other new things in there as well. So I'm going to send them a newsletter with introducing them to all the new stuff that's come out hopefully today, and then with a countdown to their sale page opening up. What else have I got? I've got a ton of videos. I need to get the video footage off the camera onto the computer, so I've got 2 copies in case anything happens. And then hopefully can start editing those as well. So I've got a fair few things I need to do today. It's already been a busy start to the morning. I have got the bread maker on because we are almost out of last week's bread. So I've got that on and cooking a new loaf. I've just heard the washing machine finish, so I'm going to go and hang my washing out. And then I will come back in and I will take some photos first, I think, before I do anything else on the computer. But before I do go, I do actually want to share, this came too late for my last vlog. I've actually had this for about a month now, and it came just as I finished editing all the videos and sent it off to YouTube land. But I have my new planner for 2025. How happy and cheery is that? This is from Wicked Lee Goods, and Lee does an absolutely amazing job with her planners. I highly highly recommend them. Not just because she's a very good friend, but because these planners are just fantastic. And this year she's really stepped it up with some extra features. Like she's got these gorgeous tabs in here. She's changed them into a plastic tab so that they don't actually curl over. This is last year's calendar. You can see all the little tabs, because they are paper, they curl over, and I can see I've almost ripped July off, but that's all right, July's gone, we don't need July anymore. But she's changed all the tabs in here, and there's some brilliant features as well. I say they're a brilliant planner because if you've been with me for a while, you've probably heard me say a few times, I have never really been very good at using planners and diaries. I'm hopeless at diaries. I tried keeping a diary when I was a child. I would write in it for a couple of weeks, and then it would just, I don't know, nothing else would happen. I was never very good at, the only diary that I ever religiously wrote in was because I was forced to write into it, and that was the high school diary. All the kids used to get a diary at the start of the year. You used to put your timetable into the front of it so you knew what classes you were going to, and then you used to have to write your homework in it. So the teachers actually forced you to write this in this diary, and it was the only time I've ever religiously used a diary. And then once I finished school, I just couldn't. I've tried diaries in the past, and they just don't work for me. I generally get up to about March of being, really good at writing in them, and then they go by the wayside. I might pick it up halfway, towards the end of the year and try and start it again, and it just doesn't work. So diaries were always a waste of money for me. And then one year I actually found a planner in TK Maxx, and the way it was set out was just absolutely perfect. And I ended up using this planner, I think, all the way through until November, and then it just got crazy busy and I neglected my planner. But that next year, Lee bought out a planner, and it was very, very similar to what I'd been using. So I bought it and I used it the whole year, absolutely loved it. And then for last year, she bought out another planner. She's even got mood trackers and stuff in them. I will admit I did the first 3 months of the mood trackers, and then I just gave up on doing that. I just didn't have time to sit and colour. February's was lots of different flowers and stuff. I will admit I did stop the mood trackers. But, everything else about the planners I have absolutely loved. The cover that she did on this one, I did my usual, Lee, can I please have, I know you've got 20,000 other beautiful designs, but I want, and she did me this beautiful cover to go on this planner, and I have used it. You can see all my little pages are all curled, and it's a little bit dirty because it goes all over the place with me, but I've used it every day, every week, and it really, really helps me to plan. And this year she has gone above and beyond with her planners. I keep telling her she's making too much work for herself. She's got lots and lots of different covers that you can choose from, and she's actually made the sunflower one, keeping in mind she knew I was going to ask for sunflowers. She actually put a sunflower one out for sale. And then when it comes to the inside of your planner on your day week pages, she's actually got, I think there was about 8 options or something. There's quite a number of options in there for how you want your pages to look. So depending upon how you actually work, you can pick a design that's going to work best for you. And I actually went for this design because it works really, really well. This side here is basically a note-taking page or an idea dump page, and then this side here is all of the week broken down into the days. And the reason this style of planner works best for me is because I get to the start of the week, on a Monday, I come in my office and I sit down and think, right, this is what I need to achieve for the week, and I write down everything that I need to do, and then I put those tasks into the days. So rather than waking up on a Monday going, right, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and then somehow managing to pick 3 really big tasks and then not getting it all done on that day, I go, right, this week I need to get these done. Maybe we've got 4 really big tasks. So let's put one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the other tasks might all be small, and then I'll separate them out between the days. That way of planning and working just really works for me. So this style of layout was just perfect. I was so excited when she showed me that that was one of the layouts. She has got other layouts so that you've actually got really big days. She's got the original layout from this. I'll find a blank one. Let's go to December where it's going to be a bit more blank, so it makes a bit more sense. They're not colourful this year. They are just black and white on the inside, but she's got this original layout in there as well, so you can have like all your little dump ideas down the sides, and then bigger sections for your days if that works better for you. She's got them so that your days run in big long columns as well. There are so many different options, so you can actually tailor your planner to work how you need it to work for you. And then she's just put in so many other little features. We've got the whole year's worth of calendars. We've got I love the birthday milestones thing, because what I generally do, I've got to fill this one in, is I put down all the important things. So when we get to the start of a month, I generally open up this page and I can see what's really, really important for that month, and then hopefully not miss it. She's got just so many great things in here, lots of different trackers. You can track your purchases online, your things like your buy now, pay later if you use those. She's got so many great things in this planner. I highly recommend getting them. As someone who does not do well with diaries and planners, I love her planners and I use them all year through. So I'll show you this one next year when that's all nice and full. She did have Lee did have a little bit of a problem with her website when she launched these planners, and she has now rebuilt her website, and it is now on a new web address, wickedlygoods.com. The old address is actually redirected to the new one, but just update your little address bars so you can go and find her easily. And I've left links to her down in my description box if you are interested in her planners. I highly, highly, highly recommend them. They are definitely worth the money. What you pay for them, you just get so much out of it, and for the amount of time and effort she puts into these, they are dirt cheap. They really should be a lot more. Anyhow, sorry Pepper, I am gonna go and hang my washing out, and then I'm going to go and take these photos, and hopefully we can start the whole editing process and get my Vistaprint stuff done as well. So just taking photos of some of the new scrunchies and clip balm holders as well. I love this fabric. I had to go to Spotlight the other day to pick up some more elastic, and last time I was in I picked up the wrong sort of interfacing for my clip balms. I didn't get the iron-on one. We went in the other day just to get those, and I came out with a brand new cutting board, $104 later, and I couldn't resist this Santa fabric when I saw it as well. So I grabbed a meter of it, which makes up, a meter makes up about, I think it's 10 large scrunchies, 2 petite, which I only sell in the shop, and then I can usually get about 12 or 14 clip balm holders, depending how generous they are with the, you know, the rolling it out and cutting it. There's one young girl there that she's very generous with the cut, so I try and hold back and wait for her, because then I can usually get an extra row of clip balms out of my meter. But we've got the gorgeous little Santa one. I have got these bright orange ones. I saw this fabric the last time I was in, like not time I've just been, but the time before, and absolutely loved it and just thought it was perfect for the Soy and Shea brand colours. So I've got quite a few of those. I actually bought more than a meter, so I've got quite a few of those and the matching clip balms. And then the other fabric I saw the other day and absolutely fell in love with it for some reason. It's not the sort of fabric I would normally get, but it's like this little, it was a pail with lots of little colourful squares all around it. I love how the scrunchies have come up, and then you've got the matching clip balms as well. So I'm going to get photos of all of those. But hubby just sent me a message from work, and I've just told him he's got the worst friends. He often sends me pictures. He sent me ones yesterday which were really cute, but he's just said, "This is my new pool cleaning buddy." I'll probably actually put the picture up on the screen. Me and emus, no friends. I've never done anything to emus, but every time I go into an enclosure that's got emus, when you go to the parks and stuff, they chase me. My entire family can walk through an enclosure. There was one up at Port Douglas at the Habitat Wildlife Centre there, and you used to have to get from the bird aviary into where all the roos and stuff were, you used to have to walk through this little area. It's probably about 10 or 15 metres long, and you had to walk down this footpath, and there were 2 emus in there. And my family could walk through this enclosure, not a problem. And the second I step into the enclosure, these emus, their heads used to go up and then they would come at me. And I don't know why. And it's been ever since I was little. Geese chase me. I was never really frightened of them, but I've always been chased by geese and swan and emus. I don't even want to know what an ostrich would do, but yeah, I've just told him he's got the worst friends out there because I hate emus. I couldn't do his job if an emu was getting that close to me. I'd be out there going, clean your own pool. But he did send me this one when I was in the shop yesterday. Again, I'll try and put it up onto the screen as well. He said he's been trying to get a picture of these little wallabies or little kangaroos that are around the cabin area. He works in the accommodation side of the Australia Zoo, and he's been trying to get these photos of these baby mum and baby for a little while, and he managed to get them yesterday. It must be so wonderful for his job. I'm so happy for him in this job that he's got. He's working outdoors. He gets to work, like these animals are just bouncing around where all the cabins and stuff are, so absolutely beautiful. But he can keep the emus. Anyway, I need to go and put this, the battery hasn't lasted very long in the camera today, so that's not a good sign, but I'm going to go and put the camera on charge, finish taking photos of these. My next lot of washing should be dry, and then we'll get on to editing the photos. Can you get any more miserable? It's a good thing. You know your harness is a good thing. She hates her harness. She hates going for walks. I've never known a dog to hate going for walks as much as she does. She will go for them. She just hates having a harness on, even though we do lots of fun things when she's in her harness. But the bread has finished baking, so I've pulled that out, letting it cool down. I've got another load of washing in. It's been such a beautiful day today. We've had some really, really bad weather lately, and it's made doing washing a little bit difficult. So I'm taking advantage today. I've done my clothes, I've done the sheets on the bed, I'm doing my towels, and then I'm going to do her blankets and stuff afterwards. But I thought, while I finish doing the photos, I'm going to have a little bit of a break and I'm going to run down to the post office. But because she's in a mood today where she's chewing everything and I've got all that washing on the line, I've decided I'm going to take her with me. So we've got her harness on so I can belt her into the car. That sounds terrible. So I can put her seat belt on in the car so that she doesn't jump around and stuff and keeps us both nice and safe. I'm going to take her down with me, and then when I come back I'm going to start editing the photos and get all the computer stuff done that I need to do. Can you believe it? It took 2.5 months, 9 appointments, 4 of which were cancelled, but I finally have the steam oven fixed, and I can tell you it has actually been worth all of the drama. We have had steamed everything. Absolutely. The first night that it was fixed, I was really, really hopeful. Basically what happened on the last vlog where he cancelled it again, I was so cross, and I was getting ready to call Mila and just go, forget it. Just absolutely forget it. I've had enough. And I was waiting to actually calm myself down. And every time I thought about it, I was just getting too angry to actually be able to call him up. And about 2 weeks actually went by between when he last cancelled on me and when I finally, out of the blue, got this message late Friday night saying, the part arrived, I can be there on Monday. And it's like, okay. I said, all right, see you Monday. And he actually turned up on Monday. He almost got blasted from me because I got this message to say he was going to turn up. Got a message to say he was on his way, and then my phone pinged again. I thought, if you've cancelled on me. But all it was IKEA telling me that my order was ready. But he turned up, he had the part, and he had it fixed within a very short time. Sorry, I'm just peeling the bottoms off my steam buns. He had it fixed within a very short time, and I wasn't rude to him, but I was kind of at a point. It's like I opened the door, didn't say anything, just let him in, and when he finished, it's like, yep, how much are you? There was no hi, how are you, or anything like that. I was just so completely and utterly over him. And when it was done, I said, I hope, no offense, but I hope never to see you again. I was just so over him. But I had been so hopeful that it was going to be the last appointment with him, that I'd actually pulled fish out of the freezer knowing I could fry it if it wasn't going to be steamed. But that night we had steamed fish, steamed beans and steamed potatoes, and I can tell you it tasted so good. There's this real difference between steaming it in the steam oven and trying to steam in the microwave. It seems to retain a lot more flavour in the food and is really nice. And since then I have been doing all sorts of steamed stuff for us for dinners. I've been steaming chicken, and that comes up really nice as well. I did do one day, I've had all this steamed dumplings and stuff in the freezer for ages, wanting to use them. Just haven't had a chance, but I did one day where I actually did them for our dinner one night because we'd had a big lunch. I said, right, we're having steamed dim sims and stuff for dinner, and it was just so nice. It's been so good to have it, and I've actually used it lots. And despite everything that went on, I am glad I persisted and got the oven fixed, because it's so nice to have this fresh steamed food, there is a real difference I find between steaming it even on the stovetop. There's just such a difference between it. It seems to steam it a lot more gentler. Yeah, it's been so good, and it's getting a lot of use. You don't have to hear me going on about this steam oven anymore. You'll just get to see lots of nice food. But I have just cooked myself some dumplings and some steamed buns for my lunch as a little bit of a treat for today, and then I'm going to carry on with editing my photos. Okay, we've actually got a number of things crossed off my little list here. I have edited all except for the Christmas. I took the photos of my Christmas advent calendar and I haven't yet edited those, but I've got all the other ones edited. I uploaded all the photos onto the website. I put out the Pamper Club exclusive early access products, and I've sent them their email along with a countdown to their Black Friday access page as well. I have also loaded a few extra products which are available to everyone. That's the scrunchies and the clip balm, so that's all on there. The only photos I actually haven't edited, I finally got around to taking photos of what's in the advent calendar boxes for this year. I don't usually show what's in them until Christmas Eve and maybe into the new year, and that's because everybody opens their calendars differently. I have people who come along, they buy the advent calendar, they rip it all open as soon as they get home, and then usually come back and get another box because they love all the products that are in it. I then have some people who open it for the first 12 days of December. I have some that open it every second day, some open from the 12th of December, so they're up to Christmas. Some people just grab mystery boxes out their bag and don't open them in the order I put them in. There's so many different ways of opening up the advent calendar that I don't actually share pictures of what's in them, so I don't spoil it for anyone. So I have got all the photos sitting there waiting for me to edit, but I'll probably do them maybe during the week sometime, just slowly actually edit them out. And I'm going to make like a little real video of them as well, so everyone can see everything that's in it. So that's all done. I haven't done my Vistaprint thing yet. I have actually got all the files sitting there. I've just got to get them into that sort of print ready and into Vistaprint and get them all done. But I have got a bit of a headache coming on. All my water's gone. I need to go and fill that one back up. But what I've decided to do, even though it's quite warm outside, I'm actually going to head out into the garden for a little bit. Hubby and I have been pulling bits and pieces out. We've got this great big pile of garden waste which actually needs to go down to the tip, and I'm thinking if I actually go and put that into the back of my car today, tomorrow morning when hubby and I actually go out, we'll swing by the tip and drop it off. We have to go and buy Miss Pepper a brand new collar. The collar that we bought her when we first picked her up at the animal shelter, she's finally grown out of it. And I say finally, when we got Lucy, by the time Lucy was Pepper's age now, we'd already bought her 3 collars. That's how fast she grew. Whereas even though everyone warned us that Pepper was going to be a really big dog, like the animal shelter saw the mum and said she is going to be a big dog, she's going to be about 35 kilos, she is going to be big, are you prepared for that? It's like, yeah, we had a 45 kilo dog, that's fine. She's just not growing at the rate. I think whatever the other breeds in her are, possibly Staffy, are actually quite strong, and I think that's actually keeping her size quite small. Hello, Dylan. So she is growing, you know, there's nothing wrong with her there. She is actually growing. She's just not growing as big as what everyone thought she was gonna be. So she's still actually wearing the first collar that we bought her, but it is now pretty much stretched. Let me see if I can come around here. Hello, Dylan. It's pretty much now stretched right to the end. There is no more give in there. We can only just kind of get our finger under there. So tomorrow hubby and I are going to go out. We're going to take her down to her favourite shops, down to Pet Barn and Bunnings, and we're going to go and get her a new collar, and then she can come into Bunnings while we go and grab the bits and pieces we need for doing the garden. I'm going to stop recording for today, but we will be back in the shop on Wednesday, and we have got a busy week. I've got a new product I want to make, I've got to do some restocking, and a few other little bits and pieces, and I've got some new things in the shop to show you as well. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Doing? I kind of figured that this one was making this job twice as long as what it should be, so I've brought you out just to see what I was up to. So this is the big pile of green waste I was talking about, and it all came from this garden just behind me here. There's still a fair bit left in it, but that was the tree, and it was all leaning up against the shed there, and there's actually some dents in the guttering, so we really had to take that down. But I'm trying to break it down, cut it down into smaller bits so we can get it into the back of my car and still get the cover on so we don't get overcharged for it at the tip. And well, I suppose she's kind of helping to break it down. She's just very much so in the way. Oh well, better get onto it. I am feeling pretty good this morning. Well, I was feeling pretty good until I walked into the shop and thought, oh, it's quite cool in here. It must be because it's a cold day. We've been having days that are about 35 degrees Celsius during the day, and today it's only about 20 degrees, only meant to be getting up to about 22. So I bought myself some soup down for lunch. I walked in and thought, oh, it's really cold in here, and I've looked up and just seen all the air conditioning vents open, which means I've left that going for the last 2 days, 24 hours a day. Oh, my electricity bill is just going to go shoom through the roof. But because it is cool today, I do actually get to turn that off, and apparently tomorrow is going to be cool as well. So hopefully, because the next 2 days I'm not going to need the air conditioning, it will kind of counteract each other. But I'm going to have to make myself a sign to stick on my back door to say, have you turned the air conditioning off? So yeah, oops. Anyhow, so we're down here. I had such a productive day yesterday. I am feeling so good because I got so much done. We got up early in the morning because of Miss Pepper. Because we were up early, I started doing a little bit more work on the computer, and then once all the peak hour traffic had cleared, we went down to the tip and got rid of all of the green waste that was in the back of my car. That was meant to stay in the car. We'll put that back in this bag. So we got rid of that. Then we went round to Bunnings and we got everything that we needed there, and ended up, because Bunnings is now actually stocking quite a good range of pet needs, we ended up actually not needing to go into Pet Barn. So we only went into Bunnings, and Pepper had an absolute ball. She's one of these dogs that everybody sees and everybody wants to say hello to her because she is just so happy and friendly, which is so nice compared to what Lucy was, who just wanted to rip your hand off if you weren't careful, until she got to know you. She was a beautiful dog, but everyone wants to say hello to Pepper. So, you know, a sort of what should be a 20-minute trip into Bunnings actually turns into more like a 40-minute trip, but that's fine because it socializes it. I'm not worried. So we did all of that. Oh, okay. We did all of that, got back home. I ended up what did I end up, I then sat down and I did my Vistaprint stuff. I ended up not doing it on Monday because I had such a headache from sitting at the computer for as long as I had. I just decided I won't do it because I won't do it properly. So I ended up sitting down yesterday and doing all my Vistaprint stuff, and I'm so pleased with everything that's coming. I actually needed to get some new cards done up for my shrink wrap openers. I've got a new batch of them at home that needs to be put on a card, but I did use the last of these last time, and rather than just reprinting them, I've actually moved this down and this down a little bit so that I can put a hole in the top and then hang them up. Normally they just sit like in their little basket or something, but I've thought, well, now that I've got lots of different colours, I want to hang them up in colour code so people can pick what they want. So I did that. I also decided to do my scrunchie tags through Vistaprint. These ones are quite narrow, so I've redesigned them to be a bit wider, a bit bigger, so that they're not so squished on the scrunchie. And the reason I've got Vistaprint to do it, these are a nice quality card that are on here, and the last time I went to buy my card from my supplier, she's actually a family friend who has a paper company, and I'd asked her for a specific weight in the card, and she bought me the next weight up, which doesn't go through my printer. I said to her, like, really sorry, but I really need this weight, and she took those ones back and bought me the replacement, but bought me the replacement for the weight that was one size lower, which are really, really thin. I don't think I've got anything here at the moment made up in it, but it's really, really thin, and it just doesn't have a nice weight to it. Now that we've moved away from the area, I don't want to go through the whole thing of, I didn't actually want to say to her, oh, look, sorry, but you've got it wrong again. I just thought, right, next time I will get them printed through Vistaprint, get the weight cardboard that I want. In fact, I went for the higher weight, so it's nice and firm and doesn't sag, doesn't get horrible in the humidity and stuff. So I redesigned those. What else did I do? My clip balm tags. I have been printing them up to go in the back here, but then the front of it looks really plain and boring. But it's really hard to print these on a printer and get them all lined up so you've got a nice front and back on them, but you can do it with Vistaprint. So I ended up putting these through Vistaprint, and again, this has actually got that thin paper card in here, and I just don't like it. I want that thicker card, so again, I got it done through Vistaprint to get the thicker card. I am also working, I'm not going to make a lot of them, but I have been making earrings using the X-Tool M1, and I've had quite a number of people who've come into the shop who've said that they really like what I've been making, so I just made myself up a couple of little cards for the to put some little earrings on as well. So I got everything done that I needed to get done on Vistaprint, so that was a good success. I started editing videos, I started editing Monday's footage for the vlog. Mondays always end up super long, but that's all done. Today, oh, and then we ended up doing some more gardening. I really, really wanted to get out into the garden. The one patch where I reversed my car up the driveway. I don't know what these people were thinking of when they planted the plants in our yards. They are all runner plants, you know, the sort they grow all nice here, and then the next year they throw a runner out and they grow one up here and one up here, and you end up with these weed plants everywhere. And this front garden bed is just full of them, and we had pulled it all out, and within a couple of months it's all grown to the point that I reverse up the drive and these plants are all over my window and all over the reverse camera, and I cannot see what I'm doing. So yesterday I got out there, hubby went and mowed the lawn, and I got out there and I started pulling all the weeds back out again. So we had a big day doing that. I had Pepper on a runner lead out the front with me, and she had a ball, like going through all the gardens, and she was really good on the runner lead as well. She didn't get that tangled up in it, so that is a good thing. Anyway, so yeah, we got all of that done today, or yesterday. Today, right, I've got a few things in my baskets here that need to be unpacked, put together. I need to make some aftershave lotion, aftershave cream. It's come up more of a cream consistency than a lotion, but I want to make some of that so I can start making some men's gift packs for in the shop. I do need to make a batch of moisturizer as well, and I'm going to do a few limited edition ones to match in with a couple of my other products, so we can make gift packs with those. Last week I had a bit of a soaping marathon. On Saturday I made the soaps, cut them on Sunday. This one's actually going to be a video. It'll probably be out just before the vlog. It has gone brown, which is a shame, but it was to be expected. You'll see why when I release that one. That is a pomegranate soap. I've also done a watermelon splash soap. These need to be cleaned up, stamped, and photographs taken. We have some little rays of sunshine because I was getting low on them again, so I've just made another batch of those. Oops, that mold wasn't completely cleaned out, so I've just been using up a couple of the fragrances to make these ones. This one is a nice little green one. Oh, he's come up really quite cute. Really like that one. And then on Sunday I did have a massive soaping session in the shop as well, so I need to actually get all these unmolded and cut. This one was done on a video, so I'll have to pinch the camera to finish that one. This one I've actually done it as a short video, so I'll have to film cutting that. But these two I just made for the sake of actually making some soap. I was running out of my limited edition ones, so that's those ones in there. So I've got about 5 minutes until I need to open the door. Hopefully it's going to be a good day. As I said, it's a bit grey, dull. It looks very bright out there, but it is grey, dull and overcast out there, so hopefully we will still get a few people come in. I also have a ton of washing up from that Sunday soaping session, so we need to get that done. I need to put the Saturday soaping session stuff away as well. So rather than keep yakking, let's get on with the day. won't know until I actually edit this video whether you guys actually saw what happened, but I have had tears in my eyes, naughty words coming out of my mouth, and then I had to actually just go and do something else for a little while. Over the weekend when I was cutting some of my soaps, in fact it was the first soap I cut, one of the wires broke in the soap cutter. So I didn't fix it then, I just thought, right, I'll fix it today when I come back into the shop, and that's what I was doing. And as I was moving the cutter, so you kind of thread it in through the back here, and I had my cutter this way, and then all of a sudden the legs split open, and as it split, my finger just got jammed in there and it's just fallen open. Anyone who's got one of these good speed cutters knows how heavy they are, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a nice little purple finger tomorrow. I really had to bite my tongue, and I went out the back and I had tears all in the corner of my eyes. I was trying not to swear too loud. It hurt, and it's at the point where I've been trying to do a bit of typing on the computer, and it is really, really hurting to type on the computer as well. I can't believe I did such a stupid thing. But I did get a little bit of comedy relief while I was doing that. I'm just going to go and get a tray to put these cut soaps onto. This isn't one I've filmed, so I am just going to cut this one now. So while I was sitting there trying to recover from this awful pain that has been in my finger now, and just, you know, doing a little bit of catch-up work, please don't break, my mobile rang, and it came up with a 03 number, not much else on there, and I thought, oh, we'll answer it. It doesn't say it's spam or anything. And some really sad, it was really sad actually. There was an Australian man on the other end of the line, asked for me by name, so I said, you know, yes, that's me. And then he told me he was from the Bendigo fraud team, and that they'd just noticed some unusual activity on my card. I said, oh, well, thank you very much. And he carried on. That's the inside of this soap. He carried on a little bit, and he said, you know, we've just noticed a few online transactions, and we just wanted to confirm if these were you before we allow them to go through. I said, oh, thank you very much for being so concerned about my account. Because I'm thinking, I know your game, mister. This smells good. This is called aronia berries. It's so beautiful. And while I've got him on the phone, I've swapped him over onto speaker, and I've pulled up my banking app, and he's yabba. And I said, just one moment, I'm trying to pull up my banking app so I can see what's actually going on in my account. He says, oh no, you won't be able to see them in your account because we've actually just stopped the transaction, so they're not going to show. We just need your authority to let them go. And I said, oh, this sounds very much like a phone call that I got last year. I said, it was about 3 days after I had to put my dog down, I got one of these phone calls. Turned out you weren't from the Bendigo Bank. Oh no, I'm definitely from the Bendigo Bank. I went, oh, okay then. Well, that one's pretty. And he's carrying on us, and he's telling me all about these fraudulent transactions. And I said, well, as I just said, someone tried doing this to me last year. I said, got me at a really bad point. We'd just put my dog down. I was going through an awful lot, and they did actually catch me. And I said, so I've made a deal with my Bendigo Bank. I said, I have a question that I'm allowed to ask you, and you must answer me that question to make sure that you are the Bendigo Bank. And he kind of went quiet, and I said, here's my question. What is the balance of my 2 statement accounts? Oh, I'm not allowed to tell you that for privacy reasons. And I said, oh, really? He says, but I have just sent you a code on your phone just to prove that I'm from the Bendigo Bank. And I said, oh, you mean this code that's just come through saying do not share, where staff will never ask you for this code? And he went really quiet on me. And then I said, get a life and leave me alone, and hung up on him. He wasn't from the Bendigo Bank at all. They did get me last year. As I said, I actually got a phone call. It was literally 3 days after we'd put Lucy down. And there was all these other things going on. October's not a particularly good month for us with stuff that goes on in our life. So we were already looking at other things that month. And when they called and it'd just been 3 days, I was an absolute mess, and I fell for it because they were so good. They asked all the questions that the Bendigo Bank usually ask when they, when you've called, usually when you've called them, to confirm certain things, and they did everything. And the only reason I eventually twigged that it wasn't them was they were trying to get me to transfer money out of my bank account, and they asked me to put in a BSB number for a new bank account, and but that's not a Bendigo BSB number. Oh no, it's just a temporary one. I said, no, that's not a Bendigo BSB number. And when I did my accounting studies, I learnt an awful lot about BSB numbers, and it didn't matter what they kept saying to me. I said, no, this isn't a Bendigo bank. And when I went and looked the USB number up, it came up with the type of bank. I can't remember what it is now, and all these other posts came up saying this is what the fraudsters use. They had already managed to put a transaction through on my card, which I actually did get back, thankfully, but they didn't get any more out of me. And then my bank changed my card and everything else. So they were trying to do exactly the same thing again. And I just went, not having it. I'm in a much better place this time when you've called me, so joke's on you. So hopefully this time, because I've really called them out and said, you're not from the Bendigo Bank, go away, leave me alone, and hung up on them, hopefully they'll stop calling me. But it's really sad that the person calling me this time was Australian. That's really upsetting, because once upon a time you knew, I don't want it to sound racist or anything, but you knew when you got that phone call with an Asian or an Indian accent, your guard used to go up straight away. The one I got last year was actually someone with an English accent, which I didn't really think much of, because we've got plenty of English people. I'm English, got plenty of English people here in Australia working in banks and stuff like that. If it had been another English phone call, I probably would have been even more on the alert. But it was really sad that this time round it was someone with a very strong Australian accent trying to scam another Aussie. Like, come on! I don't know, I know times are tough, but we're all doing it tough. Don't make people do it even tougher. But anyway, thankfully I didn't get done. My finger is still sore. It's very sore. But I do need to finish doing what I'm doing. I have just added all my cool down ingredients into the aftershave. So that's out the back. I also made a big 3 kilo pot of moisturizer, so I've got that going. It just needs to cool down, probably in about an hour. I can put that in just before going home. I'm cutting these soaps up now. I'll tidy the other ones up, and I've pretty much done everything that I need to do today. This one is the very last of the orange patchouli fragrance oil that I have had from off of Nature's Garden. I've had it for quite a while. I've resisted using it because I really like it, but I also need to clear some space. So I got my bottle of that out over the weekend. Oh, it smells so good. I didn't have quite enough to make the soap. I was about 20 grams short of the fragrance. So I ended up putting in some sweet orange chili pepper as well, and it's really brightened it. It's really nice now. I mean, the fragrance was always nice, but just with that burst of sweet orange chili pepper in there. So if you're in the US and you can get that orange patchouli from Nurture Soap, not Nature's Garden, Nurture Soap, sorry. It was from Nurture Soap. If you can get theirs and you get a little bit of sweet orange chili pepper to go into it, really nice. But that is another one. So I am going to finish getting all basic drops in here. I'm going to finish getting this one cut off my cutter here. I won't actually tidy them up till tomorrow. That one looks like it's got a face in it. I won't actually tidy them up until tomorrow. I like to leave them sit for 24 hours to harden up a little bit. Otherwise I tend to find that the rounding the corners off and stuff actually damages the soap, so I leave them. So we'll do that one. I've got 2 more soaps to cut, but they have to be done on camera, and I've got to tidy up the other ones as well. I'm hopefully going to get all that done before I leave today. It's actually been quite a good day. I've had a few customers coming in, and quite a number of them have been big spenders as well, which is really nice, because it has been a bit of a struggle for the last 4 weeks. Everyone, as I said, everyone's doing it tough at the moment. It's so much so that I even said to hubby the other day, we had Melbourne Cup at the beginning of November, and I said to my hubby, I said, I don't actually remember seeing anywhere advertising Melbourne Cup luncheons this year, because normally you see it absolutely everywhere. And then I said to him, I actually haven't seen anyone advertising Christmas lunches either. Like, I don't know if anyone's doing it this year. I think it's so tough this year that they're not even really pushing and promoting the Christmas lunches and things. So it's a bit sad, but hopefully this is the final year of us all doing it really tough, and next year it starts to pick up. But today has been a really good day. So good, in fact, that my tomorrow has already been planned for. Well, I've actually rearranged tomorrow's day. We've got to make a lot of candles tomorrow. But before we do that, I'll show you some of the changes that have been going on in the shop. So there's not really been any changes in the behind the scenes here. Most of them are actually happening out in the shop area here. For those that have been watching for a little while, you'll notice I now have a new counter in the middle of the floor here. Now originally I wasn't going to put anything into the middle. I like to have it so that people can come in with strollers and wheelchairs and that sort of thing and not be hindered by anything. But what I was finding here, because it's actually a slightly bigger space, people were coming into the shop, they would come over here like this, they would turn around like that, and then they'd just walk back out again. Or people would just beeline into certain areas and wouldn't see what else was around. So I figured by putting this little display in the middle, it actually makes people walk around and have a look at what's going on all around them, and it really has worked. I put it in probably a week after I did the last vlog, and it really has worked. It's actually pushed people to walk around the store and back out, and there actually is still plenty of room for pushchairs and wheelchairs to actually get around here nice and safely as well. And the other thing is, I've actually noticed I don't get that many people come in with wheelchairs or strollers, so it hasn't been too much of a problem. What it is, I got some more of the IKEA Iva cube shelving, and I've put 2 of them there back to back. These are offset. You've got these cubby holes here line up, but then the end ones are both don't have one behind them. And then I have put a wooden tabletop on the top, which I actually got from Bunnings, because they're cheaper in Bunnings than they are in IKEA, and they match in perfectly, and I've just screwed that onto the top there. It does mean when people come in, they can also get their feet under. Like, you can actually step under here and then reach over the top if you need to, whereas sometimes if your feet can only come so far, you can't reach any further. So it does actually help with that sort of thing as well. So yeah, really pleased with how that came together. You saw me unpacking a few things that I've had from off of Amazon. I've got these little ball balls, and I was looking for a better way to actually display them, and I found these little ball hangers, so I've popped a couple on there. I also got this one as well. This one actually holds 4, so I've just popped that one onto my onto the countertop here. I have got 2 of those. I just don't have enough ball balls made up at the moment, but it did make hanging the little ball balls up easier. And then the other thing that I got, And there's a bit of a funny story behind it. I have got these little mug holder things here to put some of the scrunchies in the middle, so if they miss them when they walk through the door, I know they are right there in your face when you walk through the door, but we only see what we want to see, and a lot of people just walk past it and don't see it. So I've put these on here, and I was trying to work out how I was going to display my scrunchies in this sort of middle area. So full credit for this display idea has to actually go to a guy called Joe Wilkinson, who is an English comedian. And when he said it, it kind of just went ping. Why did I not think of it? Not that I know who he is. I've never met him. I've just seen him on TV. But hubby and I were watching 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown one night, and it was actually the new series on a Monday night. And he came on, and like, they're meant to, if you've not seen it, in Australia they made a show, they ripped off the show and called it Letters and Numbers. In England it's actually called Countdown, and I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. But the 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown is a comedy version, far better than the Australian comedy version. That's just pitiful. But when they come on, the contestants are asked to bring like a, I've forgotten what they call them, like a lucky talisman sort of thing. And the one that we were watching a couple of weeks ago, Joe Wilkinson came on there, and he said that his mug tree was broken, and he'd come up with the perfect solution. Now, I wasn't going to use the mug tree that he came up with, because it was just highly inappropriate for the shop. But it was like, a mug tree, of course. I need a mug tree to put my scrunchies on. So I jumped onto Amazon, I found the mug trees, and then I found the little ball holders as well. So yeah, thanks to watching Joe Wilkinson on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, I found the perfect display. And I know so many other people do use them, it just never occurred to me to go and find one. But I'm really, really happy with how this centre display has come up. I've got to put some more gift packs on here. When I get home this afternoon, there should be a couple of things I'm waiting for, so I can make up some more gift packs to go on there, which we'll do tomorrow. But for now, what I'm going to go and do, we'll get out of the way of that really bright light. I am going to finish tidying up these soaps, and then I'll be heading home. It's still raining. It really has been very dreary old day, but it has been a very good day as well. But I am going to see you tomorrow because my arm's getting sore now. So it's Thursday morning, I'm still at home. I've been trying to edit a bit of the vlog each morning, and I'm just editing yesterday's footage. My finger is so sore while I'm trying to edit. It's not gone as purple as I thought it would be, but camera doesn't pick it up, but there is actually a tiny little bruise in the middle of my finger there. It is so sore, and trying to type and push the button and stuff, it's like, oh, just keep persisting with it because you've got lots of work to do today. I got home yesterday, hubby and I watched a bit of telly together, and then we had dinner and stuff, and then I came into my sewing room and I sewed a few scrunchies. These all had their elastics. I do it so that my elastics are sewn together rather than knotted. I hate elastics which are not scrunchies which are knotted, because invariably those knots come undone and then people end up with a scrunchie they can't use. So I sew mine together, but I actually glue them then sew them. So I tend to glue one day and sew the next. So I got to finish the scrunchies off last night, and I also have some more clip balms, but these ones aren't actually going to get released on the website for probably about 2 or 3 weeks. I do have to wait for this new Vistaprint order to come through. When I put the order in the other day, you know, I had enough to get free shipping, and then you get the expedite delivery option as well, and I have never ever paid to have the express delivery done on a Vistaprint. I know it pushes your head on the queue and stuff, but I've never paid for it because every time I've placed a Vistaprint, I get my orders very, very quickly, depending upon what's being printed. If you're getting anything too fancy, like if you're going for the big banners and stuff like that, they do take a few extra days. But if you're only actually printing on regular things like business cards, flyers, and that sort of thing, they come super quick. So I have never ever paid for that express delivery on things. And I did actually get my notification this morning. Actually, I got it last night. It was last night that I got it. It said that a shipping label had been created for my order, so that means that it should go in the post today. I don't think I'll get it tomorrow to be able to show you what I've had done up. I probably won't get it till early next week, but when I then get that, I can cut them up and then put those scrunchies and clip balms all together ready for sale. Now it is early in the morning, but I am about to head out to work. I've got about 15-20 minutes before I have to head out, so hopefully I can finish editing that footage. I have to go and put my lunch together. We had chicken for dinner last night and I've got a bit left over, so I'm going to put some of that with some bread into a box so I can have a chicken sandwich. And I also need to sort out this delivery I got last night. One of the things that has been quite bad since we moved up here is the cost of postage. My delivery charges have pretty much gone up by $10 to $15, and I think that covers the toll bridge that people now have to come across to get to this side of town. So I've been really trying my hardest to find new places. I can't even lift this one up. New places to get orders from. And I've actually discovered there's heaps of places here on the Sunshine Coast. And I discovered this Naked Press. They're only actually about half an hour up the road from me, and I decided to give them a go. They were having a bit of a Black Friday sale. They are a bricks and mortar business and they do have a website, but they also sell on eBay, and they were having a really good sale on there. And a lot of these oils I have picked up for a fraction of the cost. Let me see if we can get this one out. Ugh. We have got some fractionated coconut oil in this one. This one worked out to be $100.10, whereas normally I pay anywhere from $150 to $200 for this size bottle of oil, and on top of that it was free postage, so that has saved me so much on this one. So I've got that, and then in this big box here I have a big 20-litre drum of castor oil, because we use a lot of castor oil in our soaps because it's what makes it just feel so wonderful on the skin and holds that lather and is just really nice. But I've got a big 20-kilo drum of that in there, and I'm actually going to keep that and this for now because I already have another one down the shop. I'm actually going to keep over on my bookcase there because this room's nice and cool and my she shed gets a little bit warm, so I do try and keep any of my oils in the house so that we don't spoil them with the heat. But this company, I've been really impressed with what I've got. I actually also got some neem oil. I noticed they had that on there, and I want to have a go at making a neem oil soap. So I'm going to take this one down the shop but leave these two here. And I also have some apricot kernel oil on the way as well, but that's on back order, but hopefully I'll get that within a week because I've been using a lot of that too. Last night I also cut this fabric. How gorgeous is that? Of course it's sunflowers. We'll be making scrunchies and clip balms with those, but what I do need to go and do is go and start putting my lunch together, see if we can finish editing the video, and then we'll be down at the shop in just a moment. Okay, so we're down the shop now. On my way up after I parked the car, I grabbed a box of the medium candle jars. We just need to, oh yes! We need to pack an order. We need to clean these jars up. I have some large ones already up here that I need to clean because, as I said yesterday, we had a big day of candle sales, so I've got quite a few to restock. Bought some more gloves down, and I've got that neem oil. I'm not actually going to do anything with the neem oil this week because I've got too many other things on, but I do want to have a go at doing a neem oil soap as part of this new range of soap that I want to release next year. Now, because I did hurt my finger yesterday, I didn't actually get round to cleaning up these soaps. I'm going to do that this morning, get them stamped and photographs taken because I need to get this one prepared for the video that will be coming out on the weekend. And then I've got all these soaps that I cut yesterday, and I'm so gutted. I did this soap, I'll give you a sneak peek of it. It won't be coming out the video till December, but this was made using some yellow clay and some saffron, and I stupidly didn't realize that the vanillin level on this was so high, so we've ended up with a bit of a brown soap, which is such a shame because it smells really good. It's got some awesome stuff in. I won't give too much more away about it. It's a Patreon design soap, but you will get to see that in December. But I will be cleaning up all of these soaps as well. This was the other one that I did. I'm actually going to make like a little short reel of making it. That one will be called Fruit Punch. Other things to do today, I've actually got some of the Christmas soaps from the advent calendar in here that needs to be wrapped up. They were taken home for photograph reasons. We've got a big 3 kilo jar of moisturizer that needs potting up, and over there I've got the aftershave as well. I've only made a small batch of the aftershave. I've specifically made it to do gift packs with. So at the moment I do only have a small batch of the aftershave lotion. I mean, it looks small, it's almost 2 kilos there, but the idea was to make enough to be able to make up a few gift packs to match in with the shaving soap that I do. So they're going to actually be split up into 3 different batches, 2 for the men, 1 for the ladies, and then I'll scent them with the same essential oil blends that go into each of the soaps that I make in the shaving soaps. And then when I am actually ready to launch it as a product to go onto the shelf, I'll probably still keep those 3 essential oil blends, 1 for the ladies, 2 for the men, and then I'll add in a couple of extra scents as well for those that don't like using the shaving soap I've got, and maybe use foam or something else, and then they can have some fun scents as well. So they are the tasks for today. The priority is getting those candles made because we've got lots of holes on the shelf. We've got lots of big gaps. What I do need to do is go and get my door open. It is another overcast day. It's not raining yet. It is overcast, and it's going to be another cool day. It's only getting up to 24 degrees today, so can't keep up with this weather. But anyhow, let's get on to doing all of what we need to do today. Alright, I've got about 10 minutes until I shut the shop up. It was really busy this morning, got a little bit quieter this afternoon, so I was taking advantage. I've cleaned up all my soaps, they're all onto the cure rack. I did start to do the the aftershave. I managed to get one of them done, and then a lovely lady came into the shop. I'm not going to say her name. She is a follower here, but she also likes to keep herself very private, so I'm not going to actually say her name. But thank you so much for coming in. It was so lovely to chat to you, and I hope you had a nice safe trip back home as well. So I was chatting to her and only managed to get one of the aftershave things done up, which is perfectly fine because I like to have a chat with people. So tomorrow when I come back into the shop, I will I'll finish bottling all of that up, and then also do the moisturizer as well, because I didn't get a chance to do that one today, but I did get so many other things done, so I'm not too worried. Now what I'm doing here, you can't really see, I actually might change the bag out and then I'll show you what I'm doing. I've got in some organza bags. I think these ones are smaller. Yes, they are a little bit smaller. I've got some little organza bags here, and what I've got here is a big tray of all of my sort of soapy shredding things. And I'm kind of a bit over the whole confetti soap thing. I've done them in the past. They don't particularly sell well for me or anything like that, but I also can't bring myself to throw away all these little soapy scraps. And I do have on my table that filler bag with soap ends. And I wondered if I actually put some of these scrappy pieces in an organza bag, and I'm going to take it home with me. So I'm just filling it up. I'll go up to 60 grams in here. That should be a nice little size. What I'm going to do is just shut my little bag and tie a knot. I'm actually going to take this home with me, and I'm going to try and use this at home as a little soap bag and see if it lathers up well, see how long that actually lasts as well. So I'll get it wet in the shower and then use it as a bit of a scrubber thing. And if that works, I've also got like a couple of larger pieces in there as well. If that works really well, what I'll end up then doing is actually offering this every time I do my little soapy scrappy pieces. I'll just have some little bags of soap shreds that people can use. They might be good for, you know, hanging off the laundry sink and just washing your hands or something. I'll work it out. I'm going to take that home with me tonight and see if that works. I'll see how long it lasts for and whether it's actually worth doing it. They won't be very expensive if I do it. They'll probably be like $3 or something for the bag, depending how much I put in there. I do also have a slightly larger bag as well. We'll see. It's an experiment. We have to experiment with these things. But it has been a pretty good day. I've got all my candles done. The soaps are all cleared away. Tomorrow when I come back into the shop, we're going to finish potting up the aftershave lotion, the moisturizer, and then get those into some gift packs. And hopefully when I get home, let's have a quick look. Hopefully when I get home, the beard combs, yes, have been delivered. So yeah, we'll be able to make some of those up tomorrow as well. But I think that's pretty much it. It is dull and grey. I have just realised about 5 minutes ago I forgot to get anything out for dinner tonight, and I don't have any sort of frozen food in the freezer that I can cook from frozen. So on my way home, I'll have to work out whether I just stop at the Thai on the way, which is next door to the post office, which we do need to stop at because I've got an order there to go, or whether I just pop into the IGA and go and get something. We had chicken for dinner last night and the night before, probably the night before that as well, so don't want to get another hot chicken. We'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do, but yeah, I think I'm going to go and pull my trolleys in and head home for the night. Go and see what Miss Pepper's been up to for the day. She was in a cheeky mood this morning, so I am pretty sure there's going to be something in the garden that she's got into. Pepper, stop chasing your tail. Hey. as you can see, I am at home. I just needed to take a picture of the pomegranate soap that I made using pomegranate juice so I could do the cover photo for the video. I just had another try of the juice. It's not that it's terrible, it's actually quite a nice juice, but I think I need to go and mix some soda water in it because otherwise it's quite, bitter's not the word that I'm after. It's quite acidic, a little bit sour sort of tasting. But I think if I put some soda water into that, that's going to make it more drinkable. But I have just taken, it's going to be very, very glary, but I have just taken a couple of photos to do for the cover photo on there. So that's done. I have been editing the vlog. I'm just waiting for more of the files to transfer. While it was doing that, I thought I'd take photos. I finally put the oil away over there. It sat on the bench for the day, but I have just put the oil away over there. I'm really, really impressed because as I pulled the big 20-litre drum of castor oil out, and it looks like really nice castor oil too, I found a drum tap in the bottom of the box, which usually when you order those 20-litre drums, people don't give you drum taps to use with them. So very, very impressed. I will say though, I don't tend to use these drum taps on my big 20-litre drums. I have the big ones that screw onto the top of the bottles because they often have like an air valve through them. So usually when you use your big 20-litre drums and you've got these taps and you turn them on, air builds up in them and then eventually it just slows it down. You've got to release the air out the top, but you can actually buy special caps that as it's releasing the oil, it takes that air. I don't know if it adds the air or takes it out, but it actually makes it easier to pour the oils and things. So I've got one of those, but super impressed that they did actually come with a drum cap, a drum tap. Anyhow, I need to clear this area back up again because this is also my sewing cutting table. So I like to have it nice and free so I can come in and cut fabric whenever I want. So I'm going to go put this lot away. I'm going to go finish editing the video and then we'll head down the shop and I'll show you what else when we get down there, what I actually got delivered last night. Okay, so we are down at the shop. It is actually raining out there, quite hard as well. There are still a couple of people out in the street, so we could have two different things happen today. Either people just avoid coming out and it will be super quiet, or people will come out and they'll actually come into the shops to try and stay warm and dry. So usually you find on a really bright sunny day when you think everyone's going to come out, they're actually down at the beach. So bright sunny days are not always good, but rainy days can actually be quite good, which is why I always used to go to rainy day markets as well, as long as it wasn't torrential rain. If it was just a gentle sort of rain, you actually find people come in and out of the stalls a lot more to try and keep dry in between walking up and down the street. So rainy days always used to be really good for me. So we'll see what happens in the shop today, but no matter what happens, we've got stuff to do. I have to definitely pot up that aftershave cream. I also need to create the labels for the bottles. I got my order yesterday. They came in. There was a bit of a surprise. I didn't realise I'd ordered the pack, which came with some little scissors, and I was actually quite surprised because when I looked at them I thought, oh, these scissors aren't gonna, you know, be much chop. I don't think they're really going to do anything. Like, they just look really weird. And then I thought, right, I'll grab a pair that I will try on my own hair, and I snipped the end off. It's like, oh, I literally just held the scissors to my hair and the hair just fell off, and it was like, oh, okay, so they actually do work. So I got these little scissors come in. I got some beard brushes. I did try etching on the back of them, but they've actually got a varnish and the laser etcher can't get through that varnish. So I did ruin, I actually ruined two of the brushes, but I've given one to hubby. He doesn't have a beard or moustache, but he's got the sort of hair on his head that you could actually use a soft brush like this. And I'm pretty sure my dad used to use a soft brush like this on his head years and years ago. So I'm going to see if he wants the other one that I've ruined. But we do have a little beard brush. And then I also got in these beard combs, which I was able to etch on. So I etched my little logo and then the little symbol that's actually on my beard oil and beard balm pots. And the idea is I'm going to pop these into some little gift boxes with either a balm or oil in there, and do that sort of thing. Some of them will have a pair of scissors as well. We'll see what happens, but I'm really pleased with all of those. Now, something that occurred to me this morning as I was editing the video that I forgot to mention with my new little table display that I've got in the middle of the floor. I think the other problem I've had with this shop, even though it's actually, in total, it's the same meterage of what I had in my old shop, the actual retail area is bigger. And I think people come into the middle area there because it was so open. I know from my own personal experience, if I'm in a place that is too open, I don't feel safe. Just as I don't feel safe when I'm in a too crowded area, I don't feel safe in an area that's too open, because it leaves me vulnerable to people coming in. And that was something I was starting to feel in that sort of centre area, especially when I come from behind the counter to talk to people. It's not that I think anyone's going to do any harm to me, it's just something that happens, this feeling I start to get. And I thought I actually need something to create a much safer, it's not necessarily safer, but because it's safe in here, but that sort of sensation that some of us do feel, that we want to have something behind, knowing our backs are covered while we're looking. And I have actually noticed that now that people do have that sort of coverage behind their back as they're walking around that center thing, it actually feels more, I don't know how to say it without it sounding really bad. If you experience what I experience when it comes to anxiety of being in crowded situations or in real open areas, you'll know what I'm trying to get at. But I have found that people are likely to slow down and take more of a browse because they have got that sort of comforting area. It's not so open and they don't feel so exposed, is probably the right way of saying it. So having that table in there has been a really good help. I've noticed people slow down and they walk around and they have a look at everything. I'm just getting the computer all set up and get some music going. I think we're going to go for a nice warm comforting vibe in here today. Normally I try and get like a spa-like calming, cool sort of music on a hot day, and the colder days I get that nicer warmer vibe going. So we'll get some music on in a minute. We'll be not editing, we'll be labeling the candles I made yesterday. As I said, first priority is to get the creams out of the jars and into some pots. So I am going to go ahead and do that. I think someone is waiting for me to open up, so let's get that started. I'll find some music, get that door open. I've still got 5 minutes, but if someone wants to come in, I'm going to open my door. So let's go for it. finally finished putting the men's packs together here. I did do some that have the beard oil or beard balm with either a comb or a brush, and I've just put together some of the shaving soap and aftershave packs as well. The others are on the display already. I just need to make up some price tags to go on these ones so I can scan them when people bring them up. I did manage to get all of the candles labeled. I've got all the moisturizers all done up, and I'm surprised I managed to get so much done because it was really busy in the shop today, and I had the most amazing lady come in. I had a really good chat with her as well. She had been in, and then the family left, and then she came back by herself with her daughter. And she was shopping around, and when she'd finished, I said, oh, can I ask her a really personal question, and I hope not to offend? And she said, yeah, go ahead. And I could only imagine what she thought I was going to ask. And I said to her, did you find navigating around my centre display easy with your wheelchair? Her daughter was in a chair, and quite a large chair as well. And you could just see this look of relief on her face that I wasn't going to ask about her child, because that's just downright rude. But I did want to know how easy it was for her to manoeuvre around the shop, and it was showing a genuine care that I care about my customers. So she was quite taken back by it, and she said, yeah, it was really easy. She said it was really easy to navigate around it, especially when she does have such a large chair. Had absolutely no problem. She said there were other shops up the street that she just could not get into because they were not wheelchair friendly accessible. And I said, thank you for letting me know, because that was one of my biggest concerns about putting that sort of display in the middle there, was I going to be impeding anyone getting around it. So I think she was genuinely really thankful that someone actually cares about the customers and how it is for them as well. There's no point having even a market stall. If you've got a market stall which is not accessible for people to come into, you are losing out. Whereas if you've actually got a selling environment that incorporates for everyone to come in, no matter who they are, what abilities they have or disabilities they have, if you are incorporating it and making it easy and showing that you genuinely care, you do capture those sales from other shops that just don't care. So it was very good that she came in. We had a lovely chat as well. So yeah, that ended up being a really good thing for today. But anyhow, I'm going to head off home. Tomorrow when I come in, I actually need to make a sugar scrub, and it's about the only thing I need to make. I sold out of my naughty and nice one, so we actually do need to make a double batch up, one red and one green, package them up so nobody knows what they are, and then people can see if they've been naughty or nice this year. But I need to go because I've got to go to the post office. I've got an order to take down with me, and then we'll be back in the shop tomorrow. And I'm probably just going to have, after I've made the sugar scrub, a really big clean up, because I've done everything else that I actually need to do this week. So I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so I've just done a very small batch of the Naughty or Nice sugar scrub. I have absolutely no idea whether there is a red or a green one in these packs. I just pop them out on the shelf and it's potluck as to what people get. It is just a little bit of fun, and there is absolutely no markings on my packaging. I do try and clear away any sort of remnants of any sugar scrub which might give them away, but it is just a little bit of fun. I've only done a very small batch because I don't want to be left with a whole heap of Christmas stock at the end of the season, so I think over the next month I probably will sell the 4 of them. Hopefully I get to make another small batch of them. We will wait and see what happens there. It is an absolutely beautiful day outside. The sky is blue, the sun is out. It is a little bit humid, so I have put the fan on in the shop today just to try and keep it a little bit cooler. It has been good because I haven't had to use the aircon for the last 3 days, which makes up for leaving it on my 2 days off, so hopefully that negates each other. But it is a beautiful day. I've already had a few people coming into the shop. There really isn't much for me to do. I have cleaned my benches down. I now need to put the heat sealer away. There isn't much for me to do today. So what I'm going to do is I've got some soaps over on the cure rack which are due to come off. I'm going to get those wrapped up so that on Monday I can load them up onto the website. All the photos have been taken. So that's pretty much the only thing I'm going to have to do today, or want to do today. And then I think I might just sit down at the computer and do a little bit of my admin work. I need to update my Google business page with my Christmas hours, plus I've got some odd hours next week, so I need to update that. And then I've got to sort out all these emails. They were just, I opened up my Gmail one today and there's like 26 emails in there, full of Black Friday sales, Christmas sales and everything else. And to be honest, I'm actually going through and unsubscribing to most places because a lot of them you only actually hear from them for the Black Friday sale and Christmas, and then you don't hear anything from the rest of the year, which really bothers me when businesses can only be bothered to communicate once per year. So anyhow, that's another high horse. Let's get off that one. I'm going to go and put these on the shelf and get my heat sealer all set up. You can see we've got a bit of a change of scenery here. It has just gone 2 o'clock. I think it's about 2:15. I should be in the shop. I really should. And I have had to make a really, really hard decision. One that, honestly, I think when hubby gets here, it will be when I finally let the tears run, because it's been a really, really, really good week in the shop. Like really, really good week. I have had some pretty tough weeks lately. Things are going well online. No problems there. But with regards to the shop, I have basically become a brand new business again. So I'm having to go back through all those steps of building my name up. And this week I have started to see a number of people returning back into the shop. I have had more people coming in saying such and such told me about you. It's just been so good. And the other really good thing about this week is we've had a lot of people coming in, and out of all the people that have come in, probably about 80% of those people have then also purchased, whereas it has been for quite a while. I've had quite a few people coming in, and probably only about 20% of those people have purchased. So this week has been absolutely fantastic, and this morning was going well as well. I had all my jobs done. I had people coming in. I was having such a great day. But one of the things I noticed when I first walked into the shop this morning is I actually had no signal on my phone. I restarted it, I had no signal still, and I thought, you know what, it just means the phone's going to be quiet for the day. No problem, there'll be no pinging and, you know, whistling at me. I'll enjoy the peace and quiet as long as the computer's working. The computer was working fine, but I did start to notice at around 10 o'clock it was starting to really slow down, and pages weren't refreshing as quickly. But you know what, the point of sale system was working, the FPOS machine was working, all was good. I noticed by about 12 o'clock it had really started to slow down. Like bringing up new pages was just quite painful. I had sat down to start actually doing some of my work, and it wasn't even refreshing my emails. It wasn't bringing emails in, wasn't sending them. It was just a nightmare. And then I actually jammed the whole email system because I emptied the trash can on one of the email addresses, and it just went, can't sync, not doing anything. It's like, oh goodness gracious. And then a lovely lady came into the shop, someone she's been in a couple of times now, and she was getting what she wanted. She come up and she went to pay, and the machine beeped to say it read the card, and then within a second it declined. So it didn't even think about it, it just declined. And I know what she felt, because she, oh my god, I just got to check the account. And it's like, no, it's not your account, it's fine. The mobile network's not working, and the FPOS machines run off the mobile network or off internet, and the internet runs off the mobile network. So I've really trying to assure her it was not her, it was the machine that wasn't working. But she was feeling really bad. Oh no, I've got money. It's like, I know, it's fine, it's the machine, I promise you, it's the machine. And she said, I'll try another card. And I said, you can. I said, but it's the machine's not working. I said, I'll try, you know, taking it off internet and going through the phone network. Still didn't work. So it was like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? And I said to it, because she was a young lady, I said, do you do PayPal? And she said, yeah. She said, I can pay with PayPal if you want. I said, well, it's up to you. If you'd like to pay with PayPal, I said, I'm quite happy for you to do that. It does cost me more. I didn't say that to her, but it does cost me more, but it's better than losing the sale. And then she said, oh no, I can direct bank transfer. And I said, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Because, you know, direct bank transfer actually is riskier than a PayPal transfer. And I said, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And she said, no, I'll direct deposit. And then she said, I don't have phone signals. Oh gosh, this is just not gonna work. And then she managed to get enough phone signal to be able to do a direct bank transfer. So that was really nice. But it is very unprofessional to go, oh, the FPOS machine isn't working, you can either pay with PayPal or direct deposit. So I sat there thinking, well, if my FPOS machine's not working, I'm going to have to close the shop, because hardly anyone carries cash these days. Which, for me, I know we're being pushed to go into a cashless society, and I've heard all the arguments on why we should be a cashless society. But as a small business, the idea of going cashless just absolutely terrifies me. Even as a non-small business, it terrifies me, because being cashless, it's easier to steal your money. That's why I've had 2 fraudsters actually call me this week. But the number one sort of thing that really there's two really big things that bother me about going cashless. One is that if we go cashless, the banks make more money out of us. If you give me $50 cash to put into my drawer, my cash drawer for some products, I get $50, and I get $50 to go and spend with the next shop. They get $50 to spend at the next shop. If you pay $50 on an EFTPOS terminal, what most people actually don't realise, everyone knows there's EFTPOS terminal fees. I don't charge those fees. It is a cost of doing business, so I don't charge them. So if you pay with $50 to me on an EFTPOS terminal, I basically walk away with $49.50. But that's not just it, because then I also get charged other charges on my bank account on that $49.50, which to be able to spend it, because of the way my account works, it's really stupid. But anyhow, we won't get too far into that. But it does mean I've only got $49.50 to spend with the next store. So I go and spend that $49.50, and then they probably only then get $49. So I did actually work it out once, and it was something like we get up to 108 transactions, and all of a sudden that $50 is only down to about, I think it's like $5 or something. I did the whole maths on it one day to work it out, and it's actually not that many transactions before we've actually got that $50 becomes nothing to the consumer and all into the bank account. But my biggest thing about going cashless, if this is what they really, really want us to do, we need some sort of provisions from someone, whether it be the government, the banks who are actually pushing us to go this way, or the telecommunications companies who provides the service to make the EFTPOS machines work. We need some sort of provision from someone that when there is no network for the EFTPOS machines to work, we need some way of being able to get payment. If there's no cash, how do we get payment for our goods and services if the payment machines cannot take payment? There is absolutely no provision for that. And what that means for someone like me is I have to shut my doors and lose out on 2.5 hours worth of trade on a good day because I don't have any means of taking payment. There is no ATM close to me. At least when I was in Cleveland, if this sort of thing happened, there were at least 4 ATMs all within a 20-minute walk of where I was, and people would go up to the ATMs. But there's no ATMs close to me where I am now, so I don't have that luxury. And like I said, it's not very professional for me to then say, well, you can either pay direct deposit or PayPal. You know, and even then, if it is a phone network issue, how do you pay with PayPal if your phone's not connected? That's my biggest fear about going cashless, is what it's actually going to do to businesses and the economy when we can't access those payment means. It really, really is a tough thing. I understand why people want us to go cashless, so that the banks can make more money, which is the ultimate reason they're pushing us to go cashless. That's the only reason they are pushing us to go cashless, so that they can make money on it, and also so that they can track the money and make sure that people are declaring all their money and stuff like that. Anyhow, I'm getting on a huge high horse there, and I'm sure others are going to have their own opinions on it. But yeah, for me, I've had to make that hard decision today to actually close my shop 2.5 hours early on what could have potentially been a really, really good day. To be completely and utterly honest, this is the first month since opening up where I have actually made my rent money in the shop, and we're only on week 3, so that's been a huge relief, because for the first 2 months I have not made my rent money on my shop sales alone. I have had to use my online sales, and I've always been set up that my shop, anything I earn in the shop pays for the shop facilities, and anything I earn online, that is what I use to pay for the ingredients, for the cost of goods, and then that's generally where the rest of the profit is as well. There is not much profit in the shop, but it gives me a means of somewhere to make it, to get my name further out there and things like that, because being online alone is not enough for me. And this is the first month where I've actually been able to take all the money that I've earned in the shop to pay the rent, the bills, and still actually walk away with a little bit of profit as well. So it's been hard to have to close early, but what can you do? What can you do? What I can do is I am now on the home computer where the internet is actually working a lot quicker. I've actually now got phone reception out here. The ridiculous thing is I now have phone reception out here in Mooloolah Valley, where we actually don't get 5G network out here. We only get the 4G network here in Mooloolah Valley, and it's pretty weak. And I've actually got a stronger signal here than I had in Caloundra, which is a coastal town, busy, lots of people live there. But anyhow, I'm getting cross now. I am gonna sit here instead and catch up on all the paperwork. We'll edit what little footage I've got today for the vlog, and then hopefully tomorrow, when I get back down the shop, the internet is fixed. Yeah, because I really can't afford, well, I kind of can afford it because it has been a really, really good week, but I also can't afford not to have the shop open because people will be there and they'll want to see me. And yeah, let's have a look on here. I'm actually now connected to the network here, and it's telling me we've got excellent connection out here. So, but really, really poor connection, both on my phone and the internet in Caloundra. Just, I don't know. Anyhow, can't do anything about it. Let's do some work here instead. Okay, we're in the shop. I finally got everything working. I did get in here 20 minutes early, and it's taken me 15 minutes to get everything set up and working. I honestly did think I was going to have to go back home, and I was just so near to tears over it because unfortunately we rely so much on the internet now that if we don't have the internet, I can't open. I can do my point of sale without the internet. That's fine. I know my prices. I can add things up. I've got a calculator, but you can't use the FPOS machine without the internet or without connectivity to the phone lines. When I first came into the shop, I did have one bar on my phone. I figured, well, that's better than nothing. I never get a super strong signal in here. I reckon there's probably a lot of metal and stuff above me, which is preventing it from, you know, the internet coming in. But you should still be able to get a fairly good connection, and there's tower's not far away. Maybe I'm too close to the towers. I don't know. But I did have one bar and I thought, well, that's just enough to do things. I fired up the computer and it was just going so super slow. Wouldn't load any of the pages, so I tried hotspotting to my phone because the app for the phone company I use came up and it said it had fair connection. So it was one step up from bad connection, but we had fair connection. I tried hotspotting, nothing would work. I tried then hotspotting my FPOS terminal to my phone, and I did something what you're actually not meant to do when you have FPOS terminals, and that was I got one of my bank cards, not the one that's linked to my FPOS terminal but another bank, and I tried putting that through for $1 and it just didn't want to work. So it's like, if I can't get the FPOS terminal to work, I can't be open because nobody has cash, or very, very few people have cash. So I was thinking I'm going to have to go home, but then I thought, if I had to call an IT person, what would they tell me? Turn it off and turn it back on again. So I actually took my my modem, which usually sits up on a shelf up there, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and stick it by the front window, and I'm going to turn it off, turn it on, and see if that does anything. It has actually come on. We've got just enough signal that the FPOS machine is working. The computer is now also working. Slow, but it is working, so at least we can open up and do a few transactions that way, which is good because I've got an order here that I need to go and pick and get the shipping labels and everything done. We'll see how the day goes, and hopefully I can keep trading until 1 o'clock. We will see. If not, I'm going to go back home and just do some more sewing. That's what I was doing this morning. I got up, we had some breakfast with hubby, went ahead to play with Pepper, and then I sat and I was just sewing around the outside edges of the clip balm, and I've clipped all the corners of them. And tonight, after we've had dinner, and I usually sit with hubby for a little bit, we have a chat, and that's when I will then sit and turn them all the right way round, and then later on I iron them flat and then fold them and then sew them into the shape. While I was going to do a couple of the scrunchies to bring down to the shop, a couple of the petite ones because they sell really well down here, and all of a sudden the machine just went, nah, don't want to work, and it was clunking and doing all this sort of stuff, and I thought, ugh, it needs cleaning. So I had to quickly clean out all the fluff that builds up in the little bobbin case area. So I cleaned that out and it was working again, but then it was time to come into work. So let's have fingers and toes crossed that this is all going to play well at least up until 1 o'clock, and we can actually do a little bit of trade today. So I'm going to go and get my CDs playing, seeing as we can't stream the radio today, and I'm going to get that door open. It's a beautiful day out there, the markets are on. There really isn't much for me to do. I bought down some ingredients that I received yesterday. I'm going to get those, well, it was actually only one ingredient, going to get it into its new pot. I also I've had this box sitting on my side for ages, and it's actually got some foaming shaving soap in here. A little while ago over on Patreon, I released my my foaming bath butter base recipe, or foaming bath whip recipe, and then I actually put out some formulas that you could use with the base, and one of those was for a shaving soap. And I kind of forgot while I was making it just how much it expands, and I did fill up one jar, and then I had all this leftover stuff, and it's just been sitting on my side there waiting for me to do something. Well, I actually finished off my jar of it this morning, so I'm actually going to scrape this out of here, pop it in there, take this back home, clear that out, and that's one less thing sitting on my bench. So I'm going to get on to doing that, get this door open, and hopefully we can trade. absolutely, positively disappointing day after everything I went through to get my doors open this morning. I did not have a single person come into the shop, not even to browse. I probably had less than a handful of people actually walk by. Like, I've been watching the street, no one's gone into the bookshop across the road, and they're always super busy as well, so there's hardly anyone walking up and down the street. I don't know if it's because there is another big market coming up on the Friday coming up, and people are waiting for that. I don't know if the markets have been busy or anything, but there's been hardly any foot traffic up and down the street on either side. One of the problems I've got at the moment on this side of the street, and I just have to wait until it's finished, is down on the corner of the street that way on this side. There is a new building being built, and they've actually blocked off the entire footpath. It's been like that for a long time, and it's all blocked off with scaffolding and stuff, and it's just before a crossing that's down there. So if you're on this side of the street, you get down to the crossing and you have to cross the road to go back further down the street. So what a lot of people do tend to do, especially when they're coming out of the market, so that they're not zigzagging across the road, they're basically coming out of the market where it's all blocked off on the road and going straight onto the other side of the street and walking down, and then when they can cross back over, they do. And that just means, and it's not just on market day, it's every day of the week, the foot traffic is basically forced to the other side of the street. So us shops on this side are not getting much passing traffic. The other thing I do actually notice with where I am, because people can see this great big construction area blocking off the street, they literally get to the middle of my window, and I can pretty much guarantee where people are going to stop. It's in the middle of my window. They stop, they look down, and I hear them through my open door, oh, there's not much else down there, and they turn around and they go. And it's such a shame, because there's actually a couple of really nice boutique shops down there, and they must miss out on so much more trade than I do. It's really, really sad how we just don't look beyond where we can see, and we just make these assumptions. It's really, really hard. But it has been a hard day not having anyone come in. But I have started, I've actually done a bit of a stock take on all of the items I'm putting into my Black Friday sale. My Pamper Club members are going to get access to that on Monday, so I've been making sure to set up the codes to make sure they can see the prices and no one else can, and everything else that goes into it. So I've done all that. Hubby's just messaged me. We've got all these plants in our garden that we're wanting just to rip out. We've got a real mosquito problem, and I think it's because of whether you say bromeliads or bromeliads, whichever way you prefer to say it. Either way, they are full of water, and we get all the mosquitoes laying their eggs, and I want to just get rid of them out the garden. So we put it out on our Facebook page, free plants, bring your own tools, bring your own buckets, come and get them. So we had a couple of people turn up yesterday and came and took some of the plants, and then hubby's just messaged me to say one of the people want to come back and grab even more, which is fine by me. They're taking the mother-in-law tongues and all those sort of plants as well. It's just better to give them away than to take them all down to the green waste tip. So I'm going to go home so we can go and do that. But on my way home, what I want to do, I'm going to stop off at Bunnings and I'm going to go and get myself some more board. I want to make another scrunchy board here. I was going to put a couple of posters up on the wall, but the scrunchies have actually been doing quite well. So now I've got enough. There's definitely fill on this board, and I've got ones which don't fit, so I want to make another board to go on here. So on my way home, I'm going to stop off at Bunnings, going to grab myself the materials to do that, and I'll make that during the week. So I'm going to leave the recording here for now and head off home. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me. For some of the things that are still open-ended, like some of my deliveries, if you follow along on the social media platforms, that's where I'll be posting when I get some new things in, or if you're on my Patreon page, I'm going to be sharing some of those with you over there too. But I hope you have enjoyed coming along with me this week. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one. I'll see you then. Bye.